Not too much time passed since Kamaru Usman has tried to say hello to Chuck Liddell at Israel Adesanya's celebration party dedicated to the win against Alex Pereira. So today we present to you another video of when trash talk went right rubric, featuring the last stylebender and now the former champion in the face of the Brazilian Poatan. Please don't forget to about the likes, comments with 4 words, and subscribe to the channel. Here we go. To refresh your memory a little bit, we will briefly overview the main chapters of the story. In 2017, a former kickboxing champ and a Glory Hall of Famer named Alex Pereira became some kind of a nemesis of one New Zealander, Israel Adesanya. By the will of fate, he beat him twice in kickboxing and became the first man who managed to knock him out. After some time, he followed his steps and began to tempestuously conquer the mixed martial arts. Though having a modest record from a professional standard of 3 wins and 1 loss, it was more than enough to make it to the world's best league. In just 1 calendar year, he broke into the top 5 of the middleweight division and made claims to contest the championship.
Many people talk about my 2 wins over Israel Adesanya and say that was on kickboxing. Today I just beat the number 4 on the rank, so I know I earned that.
It wasn't a secret to anybody that based on this whole backstory in kickboxing, the news about this fight will not take too long to be announced. Adesanya was also ready for that, but in all fairness, he was skeptical about the Brazilian.
You know who's next? That Poatan, Porra. Trust me, the first time I told you, it was an error on my part spamming right hands, and that was in kickboxing. It's easy to knock out the homeboy, what's the hillbilly's name? Because he was parrying the jabs. But like I said at the press conference, next time I put you on skates, you're gonna get frozen like Elsa. I'll leave it at that.
A big and long-awaited event took place on November 12th of 2022. Everybody was interested if Poatan could repeat what he did a couple of years ago.
I can't change the past. It's happened. That is the past. I've let it go. But now there's an opportunity now to rewrite history for the future. This is my chance, and that's why I've done every single thing.
As history taught us, Adesanya got affected by the champion's curse of 2022 because throughout more than 4 rounds, he was convincingly winning the fight against Alex Pereira. However, in the middle of the final round, the contender managed to flip the game and beat the last stylebender on his own field.
Well, it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? I want to fight whoever. They choose whoever I want to fight, and if that's the fight they're going to do, I'm going to be ready.
After a truly sensational win over Izzy, who by that time had cleaned out the entire division and looked untouchable, it wasn't really clear how he was going to take that loss. The news about an immediate rematch was not present in the media, and quite frankly, the media outlets themselves were not very respectful towards Israel and his defeat. It got flooded with memes that Israel will never be able to beat the Brazilian, and if he switches to any other sport, Pereira will follow him there. And Alex himself was adding some fuel to the fire.
This Alex thinks he's going to respond like this easy situation. It was an easy show, right? It's a complicated situation because, you know, he don't know if he wants to fight with me, want a rematch like that, because the fact that 3 losses, you know what I mean, lost the Bell MMA. Let's say that he loses again. What is he gonna do? He's gonna go up to a heavyweight. He's gonna be fighting the guys.
But over time, Izzy started to give interviews and attend podcasts where he confidently stated that the story is not yet over.
He said like, oh, I don't think he's gonna want an immediate rematch. I'm like, he doesn't know me.
Yeah.
I'll fight you until I beat you.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'll be 60. I'll come to your favela. I'll knock on your door. My walking stick and be like, yo, you and me right now. Like, we need to go. Because that's just me. I don't give a fuck. Even if it's just 1, cool. I beat you. I know I could beat him.
I want to play a game. I want to play a game. The game is not over. It's hunting season. You can run, but you can't hide. The hunter now becomes a hunter.
Luckily, already in January, Dana White announced that the rematch targeted for one of the nearest events.
Now, next up, April 8th, UFC 287. Here's the lineup. In the main event, middleweight champion, new middleweight champion, Alex Pereira, puts his title on the line in his rematch against former champ Israel Adesanya.
Exactly since the moment of the official build-up, it became clear that Israel is as serious as he has ever been.
What's my motivation? I've never not been motivated to fight this guy, but for this one, I've put the pressure on myself, like, fuck everything else. I have to beat this guy. So, yeah, that's, I guess, my motivation, is just beating him. And like I said, they can say whatever they want, you know, it's 1-0 or 3-0. I don't keep score, I settle them, and I just need one, and I'm gonna get it done.
I think it's a weird one. I think, to be honest, when you see someone that you beat so much better than you know, of course you're gonna feel a way. You'd be like, man, his ego would be like, I'm better than this guy. So that definitely would have motivated him to try and get to MMA. But again, without me, he wouldn't be where he's at. He would have got exposed a long time ago. I carved an easy path for him to this, and I'm happy for this opportunity. I'm happy for this opportunity to prove how great I am. You know, because a lot of people don't get this opportunity in life, and this is for me. Like, I think people might, you know, 4-0 or whatever, he's gonna beat this and that. But what if I beat him? What if I beat him better than he's ever beaten? Worse than ever? What then? What does that say about me? What does that say about him?
That's in the past. This is now. And he knows how dangerous I am. He knows I'm not an easy fight. He's gonna have to go through fire. I'm gonna make him fight for his life in this fight.
Honestly, the title, man, that title's sitting in my office gathering dust. It's more about the challenge of beating a very special and unique martial artist, a guy that we've lost to previously. That is what this momentous occasion is about, the challenge of that, and the title's the bonus.
How do I break down a fight like that? I know what works for me. I know how I can beat this guy. I know every time I fight this guy, I'm dominating him, I'm beating him, and then he has this special ability to recover and put his foot on the gas. So I have to find a way to take him out of the driver's seat, which I will. And for me, this fight, I feel like the underdog. I feel like everyone's counting me out. I feel like, you know, because of the results of the last fight, people were just like, you know, goldfish memories. They forgot what I've done in this game. They forgot who I am. And it's time to remind people how great I am.
Pereira also did not leave himself on the sidelines and shared his thoughts on the rematch.
Well, I don't know about the expression, but I do know how to beat him. I do know how he fights. I do know how he works. So I do know how to beat him.
UFC 287 press conference.
I'd say his recovery and his fighting spirit. That's something that I definitely felt like he surprised me with. But Saturday night, time for talking is done. I'm gonna show him my fighting spirit. And you all know I have that shit.
It's gonna be a physical fight, it's gonna be a psychological fight. I've said as many times, we have to forget all those 3 fights. But I know he hasn't forgotten any of those 3 fights. And I think that's gonna be a psychological factor. The important thing is what you're gonna see on Saturday.
Ceremonial weigh-ins.
Everything. Orúkọ mi ni Israel, Bọ́lájí Tèmítáyọ̀ Ọdúnayọ̀ Olúwafẹ́mi Owólabí, Adesanya, ọmọ ọba ni mí. Tomorrow is one and done.
The last style bender, ladies and gentlemen.
I've said everything I'm going to say. All I'm going to say to you is tomorrow I'm just going to take his collar off and I'm going to take him out just like I told him.
As you might have noticed, overall, Israel Adesanya's attitude and behavior changed significantly compared to last year when he had to face his nemesis and defend the championship gold. The last stylebender was extremely focused, calculated, and most importantly, angry. But to be honest, it's not common to see an unusually happy Izzy being angry prior to the fights. This time, the stylebender took it very seriously and gave everything he got. He came out of the fight not only the Brazilian himself, but every hater who wrote him off. He stepped into the octagon with the intention to prove that he can beat Alex Pereira. And he did it. Israel knocked less than 2 rounds to score an unconditional win via devastating knockout. Adesanya broke the Brazilian curse. He proved that he is one of the best middleweights in the entire UFC. He reclaimed his championship and dotted all the I's in the rivalry.
8 Mile moment. I told y'all, you only get 1 shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. And man, when it was my shot, I landed that. Man, I did it again, boom, and I see him hit the ground. And I thought about George Foreman versus Ali, because Engage, my fightwear brand, just signed with
the Ali foundation, and something in my head prior to this fight was like, if I have that moment, should I hold back like Ali did with George Foreman, the Phantom Punch? But I was like, nah, he wouldn't do the same to me. So I sent that from heaven. I just landed on his head.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, I remember. So the first time he knocked me out in Brazil, his son came into the ring and then started to just lie dead next to me. And I'm like, you so I'll whoop your ass if your dad don't do it for you. But then, yeah, I looked for his kid and I pointed at him and I saw him and I was like, hey. Just to remind him.
Israel Adesanya did everything he was talking about prior to the tournament. Even when people did not believe in him, shared the jokes on the internet, and blatantly laughed at him, he continued to work and believe in himself, in his power and abilities, stayed true to himself and his team. He backed up every single word he said. He knocked out Alex Pereira and did it in extremely convincing fashion.
Honestly, you're a great champion. Forever. Doesn't matter what anyone says. You're always a champion. You're always a champion. And I always respect you.
Ninguém vai tirar. Esse aqui nunca ninguém vai tirar. Esse aqui. Esse já levou. Esse aqui não.
Obrigado.
There it is, guys. Leave your comments below. Tell us, what was your reaction to Israel Adesanya's victory? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. And of course, hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. See you soon.